recording in progress.
Yes.
I was hoping it was going to be an Australian voice because I have that on my navigation. Like in my car, I have the Australian accent, but it's kind of funny because she's got a really thick accent. And I'm like, do I sound like that? I hope not.
No, your accent is really cool. I think the Australian accent is like the coolest one, actually.
Thank you. Yeah, we don't really have an accent to ourselves. You guys have an accent.
I know, we have an accent. Your accent is cool, though. Ours just makes us sound stupid and slow.
No, you've got a nice voice and accent, of course.
Oh,
So let's talk about your beginnings in the entertainment industry, like music, acting. By the way, you have an amazing voice. I think I've already told you that. So not only a great actor and good looking, but also an amazing singer.
Appreciate that so much. Well, I started out mainly, I mean, I've always been a creative person. As a kid, I was always drawing and wanting, I was the kid in the neighborhood that would bring the video camera out and want everybody in the neighborhood to film a sketch with me or put on a show with me. So I was always definitely more of an artistic kid, but it was mainly drawing and art that I was into until high school. And my English teacher, they really needed guys for the play. And I was like, I don't know, that's not really the cool thing to do. When you're going through puberty, doing the play, it's not the cool thing. But I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. Well, as soon as I stepped on stage, I loved it. There's something about that live energy between the audience and the actors performing. And I just really loved all the weirdos and the outcasts that came together to make something happen. I mean, it was all different types of people. It wasn't just all the cool people. It wasn't just all the nerds. It was like random people from my high school that just fell into this theater program, and everybody was so unique and different. And I just loved that. I loved being around all that diversity and the different types of personalities and orientations and ethnicities. And yeah, I just loved it. I loved it. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to go for this. I'm going to pursue this. So I kind of switched gears from visual art, drawing and painting, to using my body to tell a story, and didn't look back. I continued to do it throughout high school. I even auditioned for a Center for the Arts high school and did their theater program there, half of the day. And then I went to college for musical theater, decided after a year and a half that I really wanted to just focus on acting, and moved to LA to do acting at the American Musical and Dramatic Academy. And then from there started auditioning, and here we are today.
Awesome. And what do you remember the most about your first performance? Like, was it on stage in a theater show? Was it a TV, like commercial? What was it for you?
My first time on stage, the play that I did, I just had a small part in it, but it was called Don't Drink the Water. It was a Neil Simon play. It was a comedy. And it was just a blast. And then I did a musical after that, 42nd Street, and we had to learn how to we had to learn how to tap dance, and that was interesting and a lot of fun. And then from there I got bigger, then I was a junior in high school, so then I got the lead in the play and the musical, and then the senior year I got the lead, and then I did some community theater and got the lead in that. And so it just kind of built and escalated, each year as I got better and as I got older. And then my first time on like an actual TV show, I think it was 1,000 Ways to Die. It's basically a show that they reenact real stories of the craziest ways that people have died around the world. And so I was an actor basically playing the part of this person that died. And it was a pretty interesting, epic death scene. But it was, it was a small little role on Spike TV. And that was my first time on an actual, TV set. And then from there, I got a couple, independent movies and started getting some commercials. And my first, big kind of break into the industry, though, was probably General Hospital.
General Hospital. That's some serious stuff there for the soap opera fans around the world. They love it.
Yeah, exactly. So I got, I was cast as Dylan Quartermain, and he's a legacy character. And it was a 4-year contract. And yeah, that was just a huge, huge door opening for me. I had never really grown up watching soap operas, or, I didn't know much about that world at all. But I know that, obviously I know they're popular and they've got a huge fan base. And I was thrown right into the mix with some of the greats, Anthony Geary and Jane Elliott. And my character was a Quartermain, and that's like a legacy family on the show. So it was cool. I mean, I was just thrown right into the fire, and being on a soap opera, really, I feel like in a lot of ways prepped me for where I'm at today, because they film so fast and you have to learn so many lines every day, and you kind of got to sink or swim. And luckily I swam, and
I'm not very good at remembering lines. I mean, like simple things here and there, I can like dive in and do my part, but like learning a long script, it was very intimidating to me,
Yeah. I was never really good at it either, to be honest. But when I got on the show, everybody's told me, because I freaked out when I first got on the show. I got like 8 scripts and I was shooting like 8 episodes my first week, like 2 episodes a day. And I was like, how am I going to do this? And it's like monologue after monologue, because I was a new, they were introducing my character again to the show. So it was like, I had a lot of scenes, and I kind of freaked out, but somehow I got it done. And people said, it's a muscle memory thing. You'll get better at memorizing as you go. And it's true. I did because I had to. And your brain kind of teaches itself little tricks, and you kind of learn how to memorize quicker. And it did. Now I can memorize. I mean, now I can read a paragraph a few times, and I've almost got it down, which is crazy, because I was, like you said, I could not remember lines very well. It took me hours and hours and hours.
But when you think about it, it's not really that different to memorizing a song, because you still have to learn the lyrics. And it's like, I guess everything is telling a story. Right. Far as I'm concerned, whether it's in a song, in a show, in a movie. So, and do you still do any artwork? What was like your thing? Was it painting mainly, sketching?
Yeah, art kind of runs in my family too. I grew up with 3 sisters, and they're all like very creative. My mom's super creative. My dad plays music. So definitely got that creative family gene. I was more of I was sketching all the time. Sketching. I wanted to be a Disney animator for the longest time. I thought that was the coolest thing. And then as I got like in middle school, things started changing, and it was a lot more, Toy Story came out, and it was all computer animation. And I've never been the most techie person. So I was like, I don't know if it's not, I mean, they still start with hand drawings, and then they put them into the computer system or whatever. But that kind of intimidated me a little bit when it all started shifting gears to computers. Yeah. And then I, like I said, I did that play, and I was like, oh, well, hold on a second. I think I like this more. And this I could actually, I mean, the percentage is low, but if I made it as an actor, I could actually make some money, So, I went with this, and I think I made the right choice. But I do want to get back into art, Yeah. I mean, I kind of stopped drawing and painting, and I don't know why. I think it's because whatever this creative like itch that I have that I feel the need to scratch, I feel like it's kind of taken care of with all the acting and music I'm doing, So that's maybe why I don't crave like sitting down and drawing anymore. But I think it was really therapeutic. So I'll probably get back into it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you always come back eventually to what you're really good at as well. And you're like, right. Get back into sketching, and it is therapeutic. You're right. It's nice.
Yeah, totally.
So what's been one of your favorite projects to work on so far? Like out of movies as well as TV. I know they're completely different, but what's been one of your favorite projects to work on so far?
Well, I'm in the new Walking Dead show right now. It's called Walking Dead World Beyond. And I've been in most of this second season that's airing right now on AMC. And that was just such a cool production. The finale is actually coming up next week, and I've got a huge fight scene, and it was just cool to be on a production of that scale with that type of budget. And the fan base is huge, and the world they've created is just massive and so brilliant, you know. And it was just it was just cool because everybody knows that show, you know.
Yeah.
And zombies, you know, I was just on set, and it was just kind of surreal to be on set and like seeing these zombies walk, you know, they're normal people underneath all the makeup and the masks, but you know, like it was just, I had to pinch myself a few times because I'm like, this is crazy. Like I'm now part of the Walking Dead universe, you know. It's pretty cool. So, and I got to play a bad guy, and I got to do, you know, some fighting and my own stunts, and that's always a lot of fun. But I think the thing that's the most fulfilling right now, as far as just like a personal passion project, something that I just feel like I'm really getting to share me, is the music stuff I'm doing, you know.
Yeah.
So that's been really, really exciting.
So tell us about that. Tell us about your songs. You did, I believe, 2 music videos, right, so far?
Yeah, I've got so I've always loved music, but when I moved out to LA to act, I kind of just focused mainly on that because it's hard enough to make it in one category. So I was like, let me just put a laser focus on this one thing. But now that I've kind of got the acting ball rolling and feeling like, okay, that career is like, you know, obviously I want to continue growing that. Can you still see me? All right.
Yeah, I can still see you.
Something happened with my phone. I want to keep nurturing that acting career, but now I feel like I've got a little more time and liberty, just a little more space to work in other things, you know, like you said, with the art, the drawing and stuff. Like I want to do it all. So I started doing some music covers when I was on General Hospital and just posting them for fun, like on my Instagram and YouTube, and people really responded to them. So then the show kind of took notice that I was doing that, and they let me sing on a couple episodes. And then that, you know, just kind of got people excited, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I just happened to fall into it, kind of, you know. But I've always loved music, and I did sing some when I was young, and I did a lot of my acting roles required me to sing, so I did sing. I had some experience, you know. But I was a little intimidated to create my own music. You know, that's a whole different thing. But luckily, I met a friend of mine, Brendan Martin. I met him through a movie I was working on. His girlfriend was doing the makeup on the movie, and she was like, you should really meet my boyfriend. He's a producer, and he'd love to work with you. So I met him. Long story short, we got in the studio, we hit it off, we became really good friends, and we started writing and producing music together. And he's really helped mentor and kind of develop me into what we now know as Palmer. That's what I go by for my music, which is my middle name. And yeah, we've released one song and video called Waiting. That was my first single. And then we just released a song called Clean Cut, which is my second single and video. They're on all streaming platforms. You can find them on Spotify, Apple, and then the music videos are on YouTube. But we just shot a new music video. My third song that's coming out is actually called Walking Dead, as a little ode to me being on the show. It's not about zombies or anything. We just kind of, you know,
that's clever. I love that.
Yeah. So it's called Walking Dead. We just shot the music video in Utah, and I'm really, really excited about this one. It's really, it's different. It's a slower song. It's a little more personal, and it's a little more of a ballad. I really sing on this one, you know. So I'm excited. Not that I wasn't singing on the others, but like, you know, I show some range on this one. And we just kept the video really simple, but it's shot in Utah at the Salt Flats and in the mountains, and it's just really. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So that'll be coming out sometime mid-December.
I can't wait to see it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited.
What who were some of your influences growing up, like in music? I know who mine are. I have several. Who were some of your inspirations growing up in the music world?
Oh gosh. I mean, it's funny because I'm from North Carolina. So obviously country music was always around. It was always on the radio. And folk music. And then my dad played guitar, and he loved Bob Dylan and Eric Clapton and Tina Turner, you know, the old classics and great classic rock. But then I also, in high school, the school that I went to for theater, the Center for the Arts program I went to, was predominantly a Black school, and I loved getting to hang out there and getting all that diversity and learning about their culture. And I was really, really introduced to hip hop, when I was studying over there. And so I kind of I got all different sides of the spectrum, with my upbringing, because I was thrust into different environments. And I'm so grateful for that, because not only has it shaped me as a human and as an actor, but yeah, my music, the music I'm making is definitely pop. I think it's under the umbrella of pop for sure.
Mhm.
But I feel like it's, I've had people listen to it and go, I hear a little country, or I hear, oh, it's got a little bit of a hip hop, or, oh, it's got you know what I mean? Like, I think all those sounds kind of created whatever it is I'm doing now. But yeah, I grew up listening to everything, really, hip hop to the classic rock and then I have three sisters who were on the dance team and were dancers and loved Madonna and Lady Gaga and Britney Spears. And so I appreciate it all. There's not much that I can't get down to. You know what I mean? The only type of music that I've never really vibed with is like the screaming heavy metal, like
The
I don't
death
know.
metal.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And it's not, I appreciate it. And there's times where that just feels good to listen to. If you're working, if you're just angry at something or working out. But like, usually when I put on music, I want to kind of like meditate and zone out and feel good. You know what I mean? And that is so I usually steer clear of that screaming metal stuff, but I get it. And a lot of those artists are really, really talented too. So
I idolized Madonna. She was like my idol. I swear, I used to think I was Madonna. I used to dress up as her. But that was when I was really little. It's not like it was 2 weeks ago or something.
I would not judge you. My sisters still dress up as Madonna and Lady Gaga. Yeah,
but I can tell that in your music, you have that soulfulness to your voice. And that's why I can tell you grew up in a diverse background of music. I can hear that in your voice.
That means a lot. Yeah, it's cool. It's really fun. I mean, I don't know. I'm excited to see where we go. We've got the first 4 songs pretty much done. This next one is Walking Dead, and then we've got a 4th single coming out, hopefully like right around the start of the new year. And then we're gonna get back in the studio. And I mean, we've got a bunch of other songs too, but I think I want to get back in the studio and start fresh, because I've gone through a lot in the past year with the pandemic and everything, and we haven't really focused on making new music in a while. And I'm excited to do that because I've got a lot to write about now with everything that I've gone through during the pandemic, as we all have,
Yeah, that's awesome. So a fresh, like 2022 outlook of different songs.
Yeah, I just feel like we've all had a ton of time to reflect on whatever it is that we needed to reflect on. We were kind of forced to do that with all the quarantining. And, I know that I've come to a lot of realizations about who I am and who I want to be around and the type of life I want and where I want to go in the future. And all of that stuff can definitely transition into some good music, I think. So I'm excited to get back in there and just see what comes out of my brain.
I get what you're saying. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, that's all good. So I'm excited for, I'm going to have to watch you on The Walking Dead. Now, when is that? We can tune in next week.
I'm in most of this new season. It's 10 episodes. I'm in, I think, 6 of the 10 episodes. I was in 1 episode last season. I'm in like 6 this season. So it's called Walking Dead World Beyond. It's a spinoff of The Walking Dead. And it's on AMC on Sunday nights. And the finale, episode 10, is coming up tonight. There's an episode 9, and then next Sunday, episode 10, the big finale. So I'm in both, but I'm in episode 10 is my big moment. So definitely don't miss that.
You've got your song coming out, Walking Dead. That's just amazing how clever you did that with the timing and everything. So, and when is that coming out? In the middle of December?
Yeah, I think just like December 14th, 15th, right in there.
Now, if you were to give like advice from your experiences, what you've gone through, what's your biggest words of inspiration?
It's definitely difficult. So that's just, you got to know that going in. It is not an easy choice or an easy journey, but it's very rewarding. And it's so rewarding. I don't know what other word to use really, just because it's like, Not a lot of people are brave enough to go pursue something like this, you know, or any entrepreneur really, not just artists, but like to go do something off the typical normal path, you know, and create something for yourself or of yourself is scary because it's on you, you know, and it's it's not necessarily a 9 to 5, and there's not a guaranteed paycheck, and it might not be consistent. I mean, there's been times I've been on a show making a lot of money, and there's times where I'm living in my car, you know, and until you get to a place where you're constant, you know, you're big enough or you're doing well enough to continue just being stable, it's a journey, you know, and I don't think that ever ends. But I also think for entrepreneurs and for artists, our brains prefer that type of, like, we're adventurous people, and we almost prefer the exciting journey of it, not knowing what's next, you know. I mean, if your brain isn't built for that, then you're probably better off at like a desk job or something that is a 9 to 5 every day. You know what it is, you know what you're getting paid, whatever. And I would just say, like, make sure that like you're ready for that lifestyle. Make sure you're ready for the ups and the downs, and you're ready to take the punches and receive the rewards, but also receive the just the hard times that come with it too, you know. So make sure you're okay to live that type of life until you actually make it, and then make sure that you really love it. Make sure, like, ask yourself, are you so passionate about this that you have to do it? Like, you're feeling so pulled to do it, and if you don't do it, you're going to always look back and say, what if, or regret it. And if the answer is yes, then you got to go do it. If the answer is no, and you're like, well, no, I guess I like dancing, but it's more of I mean, I also like, I love nursing or whatever, then like, maybe do that. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to commit to the entertainment business, just make sure you really love it, because it is really hard, and there's no denying that. And there's going to be times you want to give up and you want to cry and you want to move back home. And if you don't have that love for what it is you're out there for, you won't make it. You gotta like love it so deeply. So that's what I would say. I would say, like, do some soul searching and really ask yourself those questions. And if the answers are yes to all those and you go do it, then the biggest advice I can give you is learn how to be patient, and learn that it is a marathon, not a sprint, because it takes time. I've been out there 14 years, and I'm just now in the past few years feeling like, okay, I've got a career. I've got a career starting, you know what I mean? And that's 14 years, and that's 20 years of being an actor. That's just 14 years in LA. So patience is everything.
Patience is a virtue.
Patience is a virtue.
That's so true what you said. You have to really love what you do in order to survive. And yeah, and I believe also my number one thing is a sense of humor. You have to keep a sense of humor about silly things. Let's look at the funny side of it, or do what I can just to get through it. Yeah.
That's so important. I'm glad you said that, because you have to laugh at it. It's so ridiculous sometimes, and especially in this career. I mean, today my buddy called. I'm here in North Carolina for Thanksgiving with my family, and my buddy, my actor friend in LA, calls me and he's like, dude, I just got an audition. They want me to put myself on tape. Can you read with me? So I'm in the living room while hanging out with my family, reading his lines with him while he's recording himself at his family's home in Utah, trying to have Thanksgiving with them. It's ridiculous. And if you don't just take a step back sometimes and laugh at how hysterical this career is, then you'll just get consumed by it, and you'll start thinking I don't know, like people that get really successful and then they just think they're the shit. You know, that's also just something that can happen, and that's just at the end of the day. Right? Yeah. So
big turn up. You're just like, okay, we know how good you are. You don't have to tell us. It's okay.
Right. Exactly.
To stay humble, but that's what I like about you, because you're a humble guy, and I think you're just going to continue to soar because you're an awesome person.
Thank you. That means a lot. I really appreciate it. It was good talking to you.
Yes, you too.
Have a good holiday season.
You as well. Enjoy and stay safe. So
Okay, cool. You be safe. Thank you so much.